everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Raiders going up against the Texans. With that, let's get on out to Houston. We're standing by as our commentary team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by a man whose family name is known very well in this town. This is Derek Carr.
So there is history. All right, you can't help it. He might have been younger, but you do soak up the history and what went on there, and now he's in that city trying to beat that team.
They come out here in the eye. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a pickup of 14 there, and it'll give the Raiders a first down.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. And if you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They go with Murray again. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. That was second down run for Murray. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
It's so important to establish the running game early in a contest because when you do that, that just opens your playbook so big for your offensive coordinator. And to be frank about it, they like calling pass plays better than they like calling running plays. And with the way that they're running it right now, that's going to open things up to do whatever they want through the air as this game goes on.
On first down, Murray. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Surveying the field. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, They say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Carr to throw on second down. And the grab by Croft. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Carr. Finding time. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Jadeveon Clowney able to get him for a loss of about 3.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
He's got time in the pocket, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And he puts it through. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made there by Sean Spence. So 2nd and 10 here.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now look at 56.
The play clock's running down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense. And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Ten yards to go on 3rd.
All right, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down. Now on 4th down, here's Drew Butler in punt formation.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take possession. And now the Texans defense. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
All right, here we go.
Card out a throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be third down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're...
The Raiders in possession of the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. And they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
Good call.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They go back to Murray on first down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4... you've got to have you guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
And now out comes Houston. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Second down following the run.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Back to throw now on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now after the INT, it's Carr throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Carr turns, hands to Murray. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
9 yards on the play there, and it sets them up 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
The lone receiver right is Cooper. Now a play fake here on first down. Backing up. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw here is incomplete. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw it. And that's caught inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there isn't a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Caught left side, Hopkins. 6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Akeem Spence busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder that coming up at halftime, we'll join Larry Ridley in Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. So we look forward to that.
And I'm looking forward to some air conditioning.
I bet you are. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So he had a chance to get him on the board there, but unfortunately that big yellow metallic structure in the back of the end zone, it had other plans.
And that's when we're kickers watching it the whole way saying, oh no, don't hit it. Rats.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
To throw his car, and the grab by Croft. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now Carr. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Here's Marquette King now to kick it for Oakland. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. They'll drop to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And that'll bring up second down.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
Second down here after the incomplete pass.
4 down. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Miller. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Give him 16 yards on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And they're going to speed things up here. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And heading back onto the field now, the Texans defense. And not too long ago, the last drive, they had the 4th down stop. Set the offense up in great field position. They'll be looking to do that once more.
And as a general rule, no matter how you end up stopping someone on 4th down, it kind of starts up front with the big guys, doesn't it? Getting the leverage, being able to hold that point of attack, and maybe even take the line of scrimmage and move it backwards and make a big play.
What do you say, low man wins?
Every single time.
Carr now to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Single. Check 4. We ready? Red 18.
On second down, here's Carr. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And now here come the Raiders. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And able. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyler Kroft in the final seconds of the first half. And the silver and black continue to roll.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They come out here in the eye.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll throw now on the final play. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So we've reached halftime with a visiting. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On second down, here's Miller. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. He's brought down by Duke Williams. And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So it'll be first down here after the run. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And the ball is knocked out, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
It makes so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult, that often surprises me when they actually turn the ball over. You know, when the ball actually comes free. It's amazing sometimes because of what we see them do on so many different plays.
Had the catch, but couldn't control it on the contact. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Sideline throw, that's caught. Amari Cooper. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
So completion on second down, that brings up third. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gainer there on 3rd and 1. 35 yards.
Well, partner, that's one of the problems when you sell out to stop the run on 3rd and short. Sometimes you break that initial wall and you go a long way.
So how do you prevent it?
That's tough to do. That really is tough to do. One of the things offenses like to do nowadays in practice, you know, they do a lot of working against equal numbers. They'll start putting more and more numbers on defense and just telling the offensive guys, figure it out. Learn how to block it. We may see this situation.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air? Let's see. 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Carr. This one caught left side by Cooper. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So deja vu all over again. Another good week. And sometimes maybe, because the defense doesn't look that bad, maybe this is just good offense beating good defense in his case.
I like that because we always want to point out that there was a breakdown or someone made a mistake or there was an error. Sometimes it's exactly as you described it. Sometimes they just made better plays. And that's what he's been doing for the last 2 weeks. Someone's got to find a way to cover this guy. Otherwise, he may set some records. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the 4-yard line, it's 1st and goal now. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Latavius Murray with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Raiders are pouring it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider defense now, here they are as they get ready to trot back onto the field. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers. The offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Watch left. Tight end to the left. Tight end left. Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. On the right side, this is Miller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And this week, as the numbers show, just not as crisp. I don't know what it is, arm strength or what, but just not the same as last week, right?
One of the things we noticed last week was the ability to look off defenders. Look in one direction to set them up, move them in that spot, and then come back in the opposite direction and hit open receivers. Today, what we're seeing is him just kind of locking on to people. Okay, here it is. I'm just going to throw it. Maybe he has just too much confidence in his arm. For whatever reason, not nearly as sharp or crisp as we saw in the game last week.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Setting up the screen for Miller. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Third down, still 14 yards left.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Check, 59.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Jihad Ward with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Drew Butler now as he's on to punt for Houston.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On second down, here's Carr. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. A 20th carry coming up now for Murray. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Again, it's Murray. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Here's Marquette King now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They begin with a run by Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical, spread things out a little bit and make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. He'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now Carr with a give to Murray. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
And here comes the Texans now. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots, but What's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
7 yards there on the first down screen play. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Here we go, Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got Miller. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Completion left side to Miller. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards.
That could not have been timed out any better, and that's exactly what receivers want. The ball in their hands as quick as possible allows them to catch it at full speed and take off and go. And how about the end result there? Big-time run after catch yardage. That rack yardage is so valuable for any offense.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Duke Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. Their turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, that's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Here's Murray. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The offense staring at a 3rd and 12 here. Murray, the lone setback. And they'll give it to him here. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Taking it about the 36.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
first down. He'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Setting up the screen for Miller. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Here's Drew Butler now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down.